So we're going to try something new today.
Indeed.
We- You're so funny. We have a particular theme, a general idea that we're
Mhm.
going to talk about, and then we're going to ask each other questions.
And you have no clue what I'm about to ask you, and vice
And
versa.
right, right. So I've created my questions, you've created your questions, and the general topic or theme is how our personal growth can have an impact or an effect on our lives.
Okay.
Okay?
Cool.
So that's the setup.
Cool
Do
beans.
you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I want to go first.
Okay.
All right. So let's start with question number one. Have you ever noticed that the more secure you feel within yourself, the more it bothers people?
Yes. 100%.
How so? Because I know that when I first met you, it's like you were kind of dimming your light. You were very polite, you were very respectful, but I could tell you were kind of dimming yourself a little bit.
Hmm.
And then you started morphing, and I started noticing that some of the people in your life, your friends, started responding very differently to you.
In the beginning, I think it was me people pleasing and me being a version of myself that was okay for them.
Mhm.
And then I became more confident, self assured, and that's off putting for people. So, to go back to your initial question, yes, I feel like people have a hard time when someone is very confident in who they are. And I have noticed that where people push back.
Mhm.
You're behaving differently. You're not like yourself. What's going on? And I'm okay with that because I am more confident in myself.
Do you think that the reason why things were going well in your friendships all those years was because you were on their good side? And then when you started feeling more confident, then you started seeing the truth, like the truth was revealed and it was always kind of hidden?
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
And how did it make you feel though when you started noticing these changes with your friends?
I was okay with myself.
Mhm.
So if they were on board with it, great. If they weren't on board with it, I guess great. But I, as you said, if I was dimming my light before, I sure as hell am not going to continue to do that now.
Yeah.
So I'm okay being who I am and being confident in the decisions, the choices that I'm making.
Yeah. I did see you on the phone a few times. People are probably wondering, like, what happened to the cue cards? I have a lot of questions. I'm very inquisitive. But I did notice as you were going through that shift with your friends that you were very, very kind,
Hmm.
but that those conversations over the phone didn't go over really well. Like they had an adverse reaction to you. Would you say that that's true? Like, would you say that they weren't really responding positively to your new form of expression? I found you to be very communicative, very open. It's almost like you appeared to be trying to save those friendships,
Hmm.
even though things were starting to go south.
Hmm.
But it almost seemed like they weren't responding positively to you as well. It's almost like they were done.
Right.
Would you say that that's true?
Yeah. If, well, it all goes back to I feel like I started to see things more clearly.
Mhm.
And when I would have an opinion, a strong opinion about something, that's when I feel they were taking a step back or they were avoiding
Yeah.
and not happy with what I was sharing.
It's like you managed to disrobe them, like you saw them. I think
Oh,
disrobe isn't the right thing, but it's almost like you disarmed them with your authenticity
yeah.
and they didn't know how to handle that
Right.
because prior to that, they were the ones running the show. They were the ones, I wouldn't say controlling the friendship, but you were always there to serve them and help them.
A hundred
So
percent.
from that perspective, it's like you were inferior, even though you weren't, you were really just being kind
Hmm.
and compassionate and supportive.
Yeah.
But it's almost like when you started turning up your light, they responded adversely to that.
Yeah. I feel like I just had a session with you. And I mean, we talk all the time,
Yeah.
and bring things out and shed light on things for me. But I really do feel like you just uncovered something that I haven't really thought about.
Mhm.
And when you use the word inferior, I would agree with that. I felt inferior in those friendships until I did start speaking my truth more. And I'm okay with how it all played out.
Yeah. I think it's crazy how so many of us can be in these friendship dynamics, but not realizing that we're actually in power dynamics.
Mhm.
So many people are like that. They put their friends on a pedestal and everything's going well because they're on their good side.
Mhm.
And then when they start speaking their truth or expressing their feelings, things turn. It's like a milk that goes bad,
The milk
things go
has
sour.
turned. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So that was my first question.
Okay. And would you say the same is true for you?
For sure. For sure. I feel like as a friend, I do my best to honor my friend's journey. Like, even if they might not make the best decisions, I'm always there for them because I know that we have to go through what we have to go through in life.
Mhm.
Like, that's the only way we truly learn. And I've made so many mistakes in my life, but they weren't really mistakes. It was just I needed to go through a certain journey to learn more about myself.
Mhm.
And even though people gave me advice and were like, I advise you against that, I needed to find out for myself. I needed to discover who I was. So I think sometimes we have to take more of the messy road
Mhm.
or more of the bumpy road to arrive at our own truth. But
Mhm.
yeah, certainly I've had a lot of friends, especially girlfriends that are very strong business women, and I was on their good side. I never even thought that they had a bad side. And I would always hold space for them on the phone, like, how are you? What's going on? And listen, even though they would cut me off a lot, they would interrupt me a lot. And then after a while, it would build up, and I'd be like, hey, babe, can we talk about something? I just feel like sometimes when it's my turn, I don't get to have a turn.
Mhm.
And then, ooh, shit would hit the fan.
Yeah.
And I would see the truth of what our friendship was.
Mhm.
And it really hurt my feelings because I feel like I gave them so much grace and I held so much space, gave grace and held space,
Mhm.
but it wasn't always reciprocated. And I think my pattern with my friends has been that when they let me go or vice versa, I always end up chasing them. Like once I feel better or once I think they're feeling better, I always chase.
Mhm.
And that never works in my favor. It's almost like they've decided they're done with me, maybe because I have seen who they are and they're not ready to step into more vulnerability.
Mhm.
And they want to hold on to how the world perceives them. I think a lot of people do that. It's like, I'm a boss woman, I'm a boss lady. So they want to hold on to that image rather than really connecting on an intimate level.
Yeah.
And I'm really huge on honesty because I feel like it's the only way to keep each other on track.
Mhm.
And there are so many people out there who don't keep it real with us. And we don't realize that we can make a fool of ourselves or we can make really poor choices. And no one's telling us. So we end up hurting ourselves
Right.
in a big way. So I'd rather care for my friends if I see that things are getting out of hand. But usually I give them like plenty of wiggle room to explore their journey because who am I to tell them what to do?
Yeah. And you're right, the chasing them,
Yeah.
and I have noticed that you are so gracious in the number of chances or opportunities you give someone. And even when you do kind of set a boundary, then you still you see the best in people,
Hmm.
and you want them to be the best version of themselves. And I have found you like going back again and again and again.
Yeah, it's always been a mystery to me, almost like a curse, if I'm being honest, that my feelings and my sense of transparency and honesty tend to repel people. It has felt like a bit of a curse, but I also understand this idea of like if your light is bright and people are not ready to be seen, then they're going to run away.
Mhm.
Even though I do my best to speak from an open hearted place and to be inclusive, I'm human and it does hurt my feelings when people don't receive me with open arms because, in my eyes, anything they do is okay. Like, we're all flawed, we're all imperfect, we're all learning. And I don't expect my friends to be perfect. But sometimes we do have to confront certain issues so that we can deepen that connection.
Mhm.
And I've always wanted to have friends that are willing to do that with me. And luckily, I have you.
Mhm.
I have maybe a couple of friends that can do that, but they live in Canada.
Mhm.
But I've found that the majority of the friends that I've had throughout the years haven't been emotionally capable of meeting me there in an effort to deepen our bond.
Mhm.
And it sucks because you're like, oh, I want to have friends. Like, I want to be able to connect. But I've also had to accept that this is my life path.
Mhm.
Maybe the universe is trying to protect me and it's trying to say, hey, Phil, stay focused. Like, we're trying to get you places. And because you're so sensitive, you know how sensitive I am.
Mhm.
I can feel down for like days. It takes me a long time to bounce back after I've been trying to mend things with friends or trying to repair relationships. And so it takes me away from my purpose and what I'm here to do.
Mhm.
So it's been a curse, but I also recognize it as a gift because it's teaching me how to be more disciplined and how not to chase and how to stay focused on my dreams.
Yeah.
So that's just life.
Yeah.
Life isn't always easy.
That was a big question. There was a lot there.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to ask my question.
Okay.
Do you ever feel like people want you to live their version of you instead of your own?
Yeah. I feel like that is the story of my life. I feel like people have tried to take me away from my true self. It's almost like I'm not allowed to have my truth. I'm not allowed to have an opinion or to even have a boundary. And so people have wanted to fit me or squeeze me in this little box of what's acceptable for them. And I've almost begged to be seen.
Mhm.
And I feel like recently I crossed a threshold because I'm not doing that to myself anymore.
How did you cross a threshold?
I think it really started hitting me that some people have a problem with who I've become. It's almost like I have to think like they think and I have to believe what they believe. And if I have a different belief or a different way of operating in my life, that poses a problem.
Mhm.
And I really don't understand that because I feel like the way that we grow as individuals is by broadening our perspective. And so we're supposed to be different,
Mhm.
but there's still supposed to be mutual respect. But when it really started dawning on me that I've been like majorly abused in my life, emotionally neglected, um, having my boundaries crossed, having, I mean, I can go down the list, but it I had to look at it as like I have been abused and I haven't been allowed to have my own voice.
Mhm.
And so when I really saw it, I was able to go, wow, like this is true. This has happened to me. And for so long, like I kept asking you questions. I'm like, are you sure that I'm being abused? Are you sure that I'm being harassed? Like when I set a boundary and it's not being respected,
Mhm.
are you sure? And I think I needed to keep asking those questions until I finally saw it for myself.
Mhm. Well, you didn't want to believe it.
Yeah, I didn't want to believe it because I feel like getting along and respecting each other's journeys shouldn't be that difficult.
Right.
But For some people, it's impossible to get them on board with the way that you view life
Mhm.
and the way that you want to live your life. So yeah, I have felt contorted by
Mhm.
people my whole life, and it sucks in a way because I'm a human with emotions and I want my journey to be celebrated.
Mhm.
And when I'm down in the dumps, I want to be supported, but I'm not always going to get that. But like I said, I'm very, very appreciative to have you in my life because you've healed me in so many ways. It's incredible. So, yeah.
Thank you, baby.
Yeah. So, I want to ask you a question now.
Okay.
And when it comes to your personal relationships, do you feel like when you've been misunderstood that it is a sign that you're on the right path?
When I'm misunderstood, I feel like it's because they're not hearing me.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to explain something to them, like explain my truth to
Yes.
them, and they're not getting it. And it's like, how many times do I need to tell you? And if they're resisting that much, that's telling me something. Otherwise, it would just be as easy as like, you're right. I either agree with you, I see your perspective. I don't necessarily agree, but I value what you're saying. But when that misunderstanding becomes so repetitive or frequent, consistent, I feel like there is something there, like they're resisting something. And if I'm staying true to myself, then I feel like I am on the right path
Hmm.
instead of giving in to whatever they say just to stop the misunderstanding or stop the argument or the conflict or the discussion.
Yeah. I get that. And I feel like that question really ties in with the previous one around like, do I feel like people want me to be a version of me that I'm not?
Hmm.
Because it's like some people will never allow you to have your truth. They'll never, you can share what you're wanting, you can share how you want them to show up for you or how you want to live your life, but they just can't hand that to you
Hmm.
because that would mean that you're no longer under their thumb.
That's right.
And so for me, when I personally feel misunderstood, I absolutely try to repair or salvage the relationship. But if people show me over and over and over again that they're not understanding me, then I know that that's an indication that I need to step away. I think it's so easy to get caught in the weeds of all the drama in life. We can easily get consumed by people who suck our energy and who are determined to misunderstanding us.
Hmm.
It's so easy to get caught in that. And it can definitely set us back on our journey. And
Hmm.
I know for certain I've been set back a lot because I get so sick
Hmm.
emotionally when people don't understand me. But I also simultaneously feel empowered because now I've gained the clarity to move forward in my own life and to focus on what matters and to focus on where I'm wanted, like me, Phil, where I'm wanted. And I think that's why I love the work that I do because I get to be myself.
Hmm.
It's not like I'm attached to it and I need praise or whatever. It's more like I actually feel valued. People want to get to know me.
Hmm.
And that's so refreshing. And sometimes in life, we have that juxtaposition of like, why is this not translating in my personal life? Why don't my friends or family ever ask me how I'm doing or how
Hmm.
my work is going or how they can show up for me?
Hmm.
It's almost like I have to beg them to love me.
Hmm.
And so at a certain point, you get exhausted because they make you work too hard.
Hmm.
Like, why am I working so hard to be loved by you? Why am I working so hard to even be heard by you?
Hmm.
And at a certain point, you get so exhausted that you know it's like, I'm forfeiting this game. I'm done. This is clearly a sign from the universe that I need to focus on where I'm wanted.
It shouldn't be that hard.
It shouldn't be that hard. I'm done working hard, like truly. I want things to be this calm. I want us to be able to maturely have a conversation without things flying off the rails.
Mhm.
Like, can we make that happen?
Yeah.
But I think for some people it's too difficult.
I will say, so speaking of, you not wanting things to fly off the rails is, we spent 10 days in Montreal, and I am so proud of you at how you had navigated certain situations, relationships where you were able to speak your mind, say your truth, and you were always calm. And I wasn't even there for it, but when you came back, you were calm, you were peaceful, you really were at peace.
Yeah.
And I loved that because that hasn't been your experience. It's
Yeah.
been where you were, the energy, it's chaos, it's negative, it's dramatic. And this was like, I'm at peace
Yeah.
with how it all played out. And I'm
Yeah.
really proud of you for that.
Thank you. I feel like in the past I got like a D minus on the exam, not because my intentions weren't pure, but because I allowed people to bait me.
Hmm.
And I was desperately trying to say to them, I love you. Like, I just want you to understand that this is not personal to you. This is just what I'm needing. And so when I came back from those meetings or, I met up with a few people that I needed to have a conversation with, I was so proud of myself because I knew that I showed up as the best version of myself. And my little trick in doing so was the whole time I was with them, I was like, be there for yourself, Phil. Like, you're what matters the most.
Hmm.
Because I'm so disappointed in myself when I let people get the best of me. And then I get upset because they're not hearing my heart. They're like twisting my intentions.
Hmm.
And I get so upset. And then I always say to you, I have to try again because what if I did something wrong? What if I could have handled it better?
Hmm.
And so the reason I was so proud of myself in Canada this past week is because I knew for certain that I've tried everything I could and I can walk away peacefully now.
Hmm.
And what's interesting is when you're more calm, when you're cool, calm, collected, you can really feel the other person. Whereas when you let them get under your skin and you start to get riled up, you can't really feel them as much
Hmm.
because you took the bait.
Right.
And so now your emotions are spiking and you're no longer centered. But something incredible, that was something else I learned on the trip is when I'm even keeled, I can really feel the other person's intentions, motives, manipulations. I can feel it all.
Hmm.
That was really enlightening for me. But yeah, at least I can put it to bed now
Hmm.
and say that I did an amazing job. And I finally got there. Like I finally arrived at that place within myself where I can have a calm conversation without losing myself. And then I can really see what's going on.
Hmm.
I mean, it was always going on.
Right.
It's just that I let them get the best of me.
Right. In the past,
Mhm.
when you have come back and, it's that chaotic energy and maybe it did go off the rails and you thought, oh, well, I didn't give them an opportunity because things went off the rails, things got heated, voices were raised, whatever. You need to try again. So I feel like there were situations where you did go in more calm, even keeled, neutral. And was the result the same or was the result different? Did you end up getting a different result?
No, it was the exact same result. And you kept telling me that repeatedly.
Mhm.
Like, baby, how many times are you going to try? Like, these people, they don't see you. They don't want to understand you. And I'm like, but this is about my own integrity. Like,
Mhm.
I want to know that I did a good job. I want to know that I kept trying and I didn't give up on them.
Right,
But the result was the same.
right. Yeah.
I set a boundary, the next day, I'm hearing from them again. And it's
Mhm.
like, did you not hear me when I said I really want to be present with my life right now? And I've had a really tough years and I'm very sensitive and I get thrown off easily. And so it would be best if we didn't email a lot. I just really want to be present with what's in front of me
Mhm.
because that's enabling me to recover and heal from everything I've been through. And I made sure not to point the finger at them. Like I said, it was my own health issues and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And the very next day, boundaries were violated again. So, no, you're right. The result was the same.
Mhm. But I am proud of you. There was a lot of talk about the theme for today, personal growth and how that impacts our lives. I just am very proud of you
Yeah,
for how much you've grown.
thank you. It's so easy to get swept into the tornado of drama. So easy.
Mhm.
And to be able to stay in alignment and remind yourself that you're a good person and that you need to be there for yourself. That was everything for me.
Mhm.
So it's like monitoring my heart and
That's
making
right.
sure that my heart stays pure.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, yeah.
All
Is
right.
it my turn?
I think it's my turn.
Okay.
Okay. When you know something feels right for you, how do you hold on to that feeling when others doubt it?
I think I'm at a place now where I don't need to hold on to it because it's undeniably true. Like my feelings are signaling to me that that's what's right for me.
Mhm.
And I can't betray my integrity and I can't betray what's true for me.
Mhm.
And you said, what was the second part of the question?
How do you hold on to that feeling when others doubt it?
Uh huh. I understand. I think I sometimes recognize that people can project a lot onto me.
Mhm.
And if they say something to me that's true, and I realize that I'm flawed in my thinking, like, please, yes, I will soak that up. Thank you. But I can usually sense when someone is projecting their own doubts or their own fears, their own insecurities, their own control. That's a big one for me because I feel like I've been controlled most of my life.
Mhm.
Their own control onto me, and I'm not able to buy into that. All I can do is remain truthful and try to establish some sort of a connection with them.
Mhm.
But yeah, I have reached a point where my intuition has been so right so many times. And I'll tell you how I got there. I used to disobey my intuition. I'm very rebellious by nature. So it's like, I know I shouldn't do it, but I'll do it anyway. And then I realize that it hurts me. And then I realize that my intuition has my back
Right.
and it's trying to get me to a higher level. So now I feel like I've almost become one with my intuition, with that gut feeling.
Mhm.
And I don't doubt it anymore.
Yeah.
Like if something feels off, I listen to it.
Mhm. What I've experienced with you is it's like they're trying to pull you away from that truth,
Mhm.
and you just see it so clearly.
Yeah.
And you're just like, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
I'm staying right here. You are not going to pull me away into your reality or your way of thinking, how you want to change me, how you want to tell me I'm wrong or share how I'm wrong. You are you're very solid in what you believe, what you feel, the what's right for you.
Thank you. I think it's because I don't feel like I was always a very good person. I feel like the core of me is good, but when you've endured a lot of trauma, it can bring out bad sides to you, even though that's not really you.
Mhm.
So I've experienced the dark side of life a lot. And so once I committed to becoming a better version of myself, I was able to identify people's patterns because I had those patterns. And so people's behaviors can be very predictable for me
Mhm.
because I've been in those shoes. And that's why it's easy for me to be steadfast in what I know to be true because I don't want to go down that path with you because I've suffered enough going down it myself.
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm.
So it's like I love you, like I'm your friend, but I also can't co-sign what's going on right now because I know that I'm going to get hurt again.
Yeah.
So I think until we become really aware of how we're hurting ourselves and others, until we become aware, we're going to keep hurting people.
Mhm.
And if people want to drag me into that, it's like, I'm sorry, I love myself too much now to place myself in that situation.
Yeah.
It's very predictable. And so when you've walked through something and you've made it over to the other side, you can kind of see where people still are. Just like I can see that some people are more advanced than me, and I look up to them and I'm inspired by that. And I know that I still have my blind spots. So it goes both ways.
Mhm.
Like I'm still a student and I'm trying to become better every day. For instance, you have these incredible qualities that I look up to, and you inspire me in so many different ways. And I know that I'm not necessarily there yet. I'm like, how is this guy so calm all the time? And I'm not even lying. Like I've known you, I've been with you 2.5 years, and you're always so calm. I'm amazed by you. I'm in
Mm.
awe of you. So just like I can be a student to other people,
Mhm.
I also know when someone hasn't reached a certain level that I've reached. And I don't want to be a part of that. Like,
Mhm.
not my circus, not my monkeys,
Yeah.
like that's yours. But I
Yeah.
love you and I'm here for you and I'm happy to hold space for you if you need support getting to this side.
Right.
Just like I will ask you, for instance, for support to get to your side.
You use the word steadfast, and that's a great word.
Yeah.
You're very steadfast in your approach and who you are, what you want, where you're going.
Thank you. Unwavering is another word.
Yeah. Okay. What are we doing? Our SATs here?
All right. I have a really good one for you. What does it feel like when you finally stop explaining yourself and just live your life? I will admit to you, I've been slightly envious of you in that regard.
Yeah. We're gonna come back to that, but did you see that breath that I took?
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. It's just light, peaceful, serene. It's love. Like that's really loving yourself. But so say more
Well,
about.
you used an analogy once when we were walking on the street. You said something along the lines of like, imagine that your past is like a backpack
Mhm.
and you're just slipping it off
Yeah.
and you just keep walking forward. And I love that because the way my brain is wired is I know that I can make things right where things have gone wrong. So I always go back.
Mm.
It's almost like I have a bit of a regressive quality in my brain, but it does come from a loving place because I want to fix those potholes. you know,
Mhm.
like I don't want there to be a crack anywhere. But that has worked against me as well
Mhm.
because I've been hurt a lot. And so I had to exit that. You can almost think of it as like an abusive cycle, but it can also be a self abusive cycle. Because if someone's unwilling to repair the relationship or friendship with me
Mhm.
and things always go left, then I end up hurting myself all over again. But I really look up to you for that reason because you have this incredible ability to just let things go and move forward.
Mhm. Thank you. I will say that's not always been the case. That's
Mm.
new since I've met you.
Hmm.
So I have to give you credit for for a big part of that. Is I was carrying so much guilt and shame, judgment about how I handled things, things that have happened to me, things that I've said or done. I mean, I would hold on to things 20, 30 years, replaying in my mind things that I said to someone and how I might have offended someone. And I did just a couple of years ago. I met someone who came to LA, and I apologized for something that I had said that I'd been holding on to, and they had no idea what I was talking about. But it felt good for me to be able to say I'm sorry. What I said came from, a difficult time that I was going through, or just frustration, annoyance in the moment. But I had held on to that, and it wasn't good for me. I feel like I could have let that go. And even if I didn't say to the person, I'm sorry, I mean, I could have picked up the phone, but I was just very embarrassed. And what I realize is it is holding you back. It's preventing you from moving forward when you do hold on to these things. So that slipping out of that backpack analogy really is for you to not have excuses or reasons that you're holding yourself back.
Yeah.
We have to be more kind to ourselves. So if I truly do feel sorry for what I have done or said, and I have seen the error of my ways, I can allow myself to move forward and to let things go. But if it's, oh, I'm sorry I did that, and then you keep doing it, that's a different story. But I feel like I have been able to make peace with my past. So now it is just easier for me to move forward.
That's a good point. Yeah. And as you know, I'm like an over apologizer. And so I'm learning to break that cycle because the guilt or whatever it might be, or feeling misunderstood and wanting to get my point across and no, but this is what I really meant. I feel like that keeps me in the cycle.
Hmm.
And so recently I've made a concerted effort to break out of that cycle and forgive myself and go like, how does this is a good one. How does it feel to even think about apologizing again? And I'm like, it's so much work.
Hmm.
Can I just let it go and forgive myself and move on? Because otherwise, I'll always be stuck in that reality.
That's right.
I'll always be stuck in it. And
It,
so, and if I'm always carrying guilt, it's almost 100% sure that I'm going to hurt people again
hmm.
because I'm still hurting myself by carrying that guilt.
Hmm.
Like, we don't realize that. We don't realize that by beating ourselves up for past mistakes, we're actually hurting ourselves. And if we're not willing to let that go, we're going to keep hurting people.
Hmm.
And so that was a big epiphany I had a few months ago. I was like, okay, I need to release my guilt and turn over a new leaf so that I can move on with my life and not keep repeating this cycle. It
That's right.
was like a rinse and repeat cycle.
That's right.
So I had to break out of that.
Yeah. You've kind of encapsulated one interpretation of the Three of Swords.
Mm,
It is forgiving yourself
yeah,
for the past
yeah,
so that you can heal and move forward
yeah,
instead of finding yourself repeating that same pattern.
exactly. I love it.
Yeah. Are you ready for my next
I'm
question?
I'm
Oh,
ready.
it's yours. I
Is
think
it?
it's you. I think it's you.
Okay.
Is that right?
I don't even know anymore.
Okay, let me
I'm
ask.
having fun though.
I'm having a great time. I'm learning a lot about you, baby. All right, so I'll ask. Um, what is one thing people keep misunderstanding about you right now?
Oh, I think that people misunderstand my heart. Like, as a whole, like, they don't understand that when I'm opening up to them and I'm just, like, pouring my heart out in an effort to connect, it's almost like I'm committing a crime. Like,
Hmm.
and what happens with people is they start to get logical with me. It just happened a few days ago, you know that.
Hmm.
Like, I had a friend in Canada, that kept saying, hit you up later. And then they wouldn't. And I felt like I was on standby waiting for them to call me. And I really needed advice about something,
Mm.
like from day one, I think, or day two. And I never got that piece of advice. And I was able to ask for it. I'm like, hey, I would really need your help, whenever you're available. And they were like, okay, I can call you in an hour from now. And I said, great, thank you so much. And I'm only going to need a few minutes of your time because I have this quality, like I don't like to bother people, whatever. That's also another thing that I'm working on.
We'll talk about that in
We'll talk
another
about that another
episode.
time. But I don't like to bother people. But I said it's only going to be a few minutes, and then they texted me back like 30 minutes later, and they're like, I can walk towards you, but they also knew that I was going to meet my sister. So it's like the whole thing. And then for days they would say like, hit you up later, and they would never hit me up. And by day 10 on the trip, I still hadn't had the help that I needed. So when we met on the last day of my trip, I said to them, hey, I care a lot about you as a friend, and I wouldn't be having this conversation if I didn't, but I really care about you. And I think that if you're going to say that you're going to hit me up later, please do, or don't say anything at all, because I end up feeling like I'm on standby, and because I'm already sensitive as a person, I can get a little anxious and stuff like that. And the person started saying, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with me saying I'm going to hit you up later and I don't?
Right.
And I was like, there's nothing wrong with it inherently. Like, if that works with your friends, but you and I are still getting to know each other. And for me, it just makes me feel a certain type of way.
Mhm.
Like, I'm not trying to change who you are as a person at all. I'm just asking you for what I need in our friendship.
Mhm.
And I don't expect anything from you. Like, I want you to live your life. I want you to feel free. I know that you don't owe me anything. Any time that I get to spend with you, I'm grateful for.
Mhm.
Like, I'm very grateful. So I never expect anything from my friends, but I would rather you not say that you're going to hit me up, or just if you say that you will, just please do.
Right.
And for an hour and a half, I felt gaslit, completely gaslit. They're like, that's your reality. There's nothing wrong with it. Da, 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 da. Like, it was just horrible.
Mhm.
And I found myself once again in a situation where I'm begging someone to see my heart.
Mhm.
And I didn't realize like the impact it had on me in that hour and a half. And it was the day after that I'm like, what the hell happened? I feel completely scarred. Like, I'm scarred.
Yeah.
So it was, yeah, I forgot what question you asked, but
That's fine. I mean, I feel like this is more important, but I
yeah,
feel like it was almost like a deliberate trying to misunderstand you.
yeah,
And if you're spending an hour and a half on you just expressing one thing that you need,
yeah,
or one thing that you were struggling with, it wasn't just, hey, I'll hit you up later, like a throwaway thing. You were needing something. You were wanting something from this person. And by them saying, I'll hit you up later, you really thought you were going to connect with them.
yeah,
So, like you said, you were on standby, or you were waiting, you were needing that, being hit up.
yeah,
And it was like, it was just a throwaway thing.
exactly. And going back to the question of what is it that people misunderstand about you? Because I remember the question now. It's like they make me feel like I'm heavy. Like, they have a way of making me feel like everything I share is too heavy. Like, this person had said to me, um, it was unnecessary drama. And I simply said to them, like, it didn't have to be. If I ask you to not say that you're going to hit me up,
Hmm.
it's like, hey, I understand. I can do that for you, because I know for me, if a friend has a request because they're anxious or they're sensitive, it's like, of course, like, I won't do that to you anymore.
Right.
I want to show up for you so that you can feel safe in this friendship.
Right.
But they sometimes make me feel like it's an unnecessary drama, or it's too heavy, or it's too deep, it's too emotional, when it's like it's really not. It's just that when I'm opening up to you in a very vulnerable way, you're resisting that.
Hmm.
And rather than just leaning into me, you try to outsmart me and do all these things and try to justify. So that's really what creates the drama.
Mhm.
But I'm actually directly asking for what I need in our relationship.
Right.
So,
I find it interesting that we kind of started earlier where you were asking about my experience and being on the phone with someone and how I had shifted to where I was being more vocal, what it is that I need, and how there was that shift.
mhm,
And that's what you're experiencing
yeah,
in some of your relationships right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. It's my turn.
Okay.
Is this our last question?
It is your last question to me. I have one more.
Okay. All right. What's anything you would want someone listening to this right now? Sorry, what is one thing you would want anyone listening to this right now to feel less alone about?
We sometimes feel like we're alone. We're loners or we're very different from other people.
Mhm.
So we tend to isolate a little bit more than the average person because of the energy. We're very conscious of the energy,
Mhm.
what we want to engage in, what we don't want to engage in. So if there's someone out there who is feeling alone because they're like us and they feel like they're different and they're not following the traditional path, I would say it's okay and continue to stay true to you if you feel like that is the course that you're meant to pursue or to live. It it's okay to be the loner, the outsider, the black sheep. So don't get into the conditioning and programming that you need to be a certain way. If you're feeling alone, I would say it's not necessarily a bad thing. You might not have people around you, but you do have people around you in the bigger sense.
Yeah, it's true. It's true that us loners, misfits, scapegoats, black sheep, lone wolves, whatever you want to call it, like we really are in this together.
Hmm.
It's funny because you and I just talked about this. I was like, I think I'm starting to realize that my audience are people who have experienced more of the dark side of life.
Hmm.
It's like because maybe we weren't properly emotionally nurtured or we were abused. So we never got a taste of what it's like to feel love in a home.
Hmm.
Like I love when I see my friends being super close with their parents because I'm like, damn, that's amazing. Could you imagine feeling so safe with your family that you could fully be yourself? That wasn't my experience though. And I
Hmm.
feel like a lot of my viewers, our viewers, they're like us. Like we're like a family,
Hmm.
all of us. And maybe we haven't had the luxury to experience more of the positive side of life as it pertains to how we were raised or how people treated us. But maybe that's what makes us special and unique. Like we're able to see through the bullshit. We're able to become better people through what we see.
Hmm.
We're able to go, okay, that's not an integrity, but we're also able to hold ourselves accountable for doing things that are not in integrity. And maybe that is our trajectory. Is like we, because we've been exposed to so much darkness and so much meanness and negativity and abuse, we can notice those patterns in other people.
Hmm.
And that's how we become increasingly intuitive. But then we also have to clean up our act.
Hmm.
And maybe that is our journey.
Yeah.
And so I'm really starting to like celebrate the fact that I'm beginning to understand my role on this planet, which is that I'm not the guy that's going to give all these people love. I'm going to give love in the way that I know how.
Hmm.
And so I know that a lot of people who are on this journey with us are similar to us.
Hmm. So you're
Yeah,
not alone.
not alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Last question. What does it feel like when someone finally sees and accepts you as you are?
it feels like there's hope. That's what it feels like to me. It feels like a sigh of relief that someone is actually willing to connect with me and actually likes me. But admittedly, I haven't experienced that a lot. I haven't. But when I do, it's such a gift.
Mhm.
It's such a gift to know that someone genuinely likes me. And I'm fortunate in the sense that people who have been on this journey with me for a long time, I'm talking about my audience, not necessarily people in my life, because like I said to you, the contrast of my personal life and how I'm received by my audience is stark.
Mhm.
Like, I think a lot of people would have a hard time believing that, but you've seen it firsthand that people in my personal life don't really ask about me and how I'm doing and how I'm feeling. But I think that when I do encounter people who see me, maybe they've been following my work and we have like a special connection,
Mhm.
it's such a relief. And it, yeah, I just feel seen. I feel understood. I'm like, wow, I'm doing this, even though I've endured so much suffering. It's like, it's worth it. Those moments light me up. Those moments make me feel like what I'm doing is valuable. What about you?
Well, it's funny. As soon as I asked you the question, you had this deep breath, and then I just had this deep breath. It is a gift, as you said, and I felt that the very first day that I met you. We had chatted on Hinge, a little bit of back and forth, and I showed up at Go Get 'em Tiger in Larchmont, and you were sitting there, and it was just like already I felt like you saw me and accepted me as soon as you saw me.
Yeah.
And it was the best feeling. Like, I don't want to cry. I'm okay to cry, but uh, it was the best feeling. And we've said this before. It was like the whole world went away.
It was portrait mode.
It really was.
It was portrait mode. Like just it's just me and you. All I saw was you and everything around you was blurry.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a gift to be fully seen and fully accepted. Whatever comes, good, bad, ugly, beautiful, it is such a gift.
hmm I think I saw your soul. I see your soul. I think that's just how I'm wired. I see people's soul. And that's why it's been so frustrating at times when I try to connect with people in my life because I only see their soul. Like all the other stuff, we can move past that.
Hmm.
Like it doesn't matter. But I think because they're not ready to see their soul, then things get out of hand. But you're the best partner I could ask for. You are my soulmate and I want to do life with you. I knew I wanted to do life with you when I'm like, can we just join our bank accounts, please? I'm so tired of asking whose turn it is to pay for dinner. Can we just do this thing? Like, it's so much energy to talk about who's paying next. Can we just make it me and you, like us, we?
Yeah.
I think, and the way you took care of me when I was really sick for 2 years, I think that's when I fell in love with you. I'll never forget that. I was this thin, I was frail, I was mentally disturbed from everything I had gone through. And you picked me up from the bathtub and you cared for me and I never once felt like I was a bother. That's how genuine you are as a person. And it saddens me that there have been people in my life that have said that you're using me and it's really saddened me because they have no clue how pure your heart is. They have no clue. And the fact that you've been able to keep your composure and keep your cool through it all just makes me admire you so much more. Because if I was in your position, if the shoe was on the other foot, as they say, I feel like I would have defended myself, and you never did that. You never felt the need to prove that you were a good person. You never felt a need to defend yourself with the people in my life.
Mhm.
So you're an exemplary force.
Again, I feel like it's a full circle
Yeah.
moment because I feel like one of the I think the first question that you asked was about when you're very confident.
Hmm.
And I've I am confident that I'm not taking advantage of you. I'm not using you. There's no reason to defend yourself to someone who's never going to see your side.
That's right.